I like my mama's food, it's so good to me. Her meatballs have the spice that make 'em taste so nice. A little wine after we dine makes you feel so doggone fine. My mama's a cooking, it's so good to me. I'm gonna get married to my girlfriend Lisa. She's never in the mood to cook me Italian food. I'm so scared I'll go to my grave eating food from the microwave. My girlfriend Lisa, she no capisce. I'll take a lasagna and some ravioli, a little oregano for my cacciatore, a couple of meatballs with my pasta fazool.
Hello everyone and welcome to today's show. I'm Rosa and with me today I have my cousin Nick from Revere, Boston. Oh Jesus.
I'm from Revere, Boston.
He's from Boston, Massachusetts. So
yes.
I'm very excited about this. He's been wanting to come on to the show for a very long time, and I think this time it's ready for it. So Nick.
Well, let me ask you a quick question though. Do you think that it's ready for it because we're actually doing the show?
God doesn't understand. This is just natural.
All right.
All right. So what we're making today, you guys are in for a treat. So we're going to be making a couple different things. One is braciolettini, which in some families you might see a really big roll. I'm actually going to show Nick how to make braciolettinis. So they're going to be smaller. And Nick is going to be showing us a wonderful pasta dish. What do you call it?
Hold on. Take two. I don't really call it anything.
You have to have a name for it.
I'm going to call it pasta Rosalinda.
All right. So he's going to be making pasta Rosalinda.
So you're going to cut all this crap out, right?
Not this part. So anyways, we're going to get started. So what I have here is a whole bunch of different ingredients. And what you're going to need for this is going to be some olive oil for the stuffing, a half a cup of pancetta that we're going to be browning into the pan. You're going to need some onions. Oh yeah, pancetta. You're going to need some onions. This looks like a lot of onions, but we're actually going to be making a sauce with it too. So half will go in there and half will go into the stuffing. Salt, pepper, red flakes, now red pepper flakes. This mushy stuff is actually Italian bread. What's really interesting is this will give it a very nice moist feel to the inside. When you make your meatballs, do you ever use this kind of bread?
No, I tried it once and I didn't really like the way it came out, so I never used it again. I just didn't like the added bread in there.
Oh, okay.
So.
Well, you can use dry, you can use this. Yeah. But for this particular dish, we've got
what kind of milk did you soak it in?
This is in whole milk.
Okay.
2 cups, so I just cut them up in cubes, and they've been soaking, so it's all nice and soggy. So we're going to need that. We're also going to need 1 cup of milk. That's how much I put into the bread. And then we need 2 garlic cloves for the stuffing, and we need 2 garlic cloves for the sauce. What else we got? So we got some mushrooms. We got meat.
Definitely have meat.
Yes, and definitely make sure you know how big they are, because you don't want to come home with 40 pounds of meat like we did today. So we don't want to do that. So we got mushrooms that are very thinly sliced.
What kind of mushrooms did you use?
These are regular button mushrooms,
yep.
But you could actually use cremini, you could use shiitake. I definitely wouldn't use those big mushrooms because those are too meaty.
Portobellos?
Yeah, they're too meaty. Those are great for stuffing, in my opinion, but you could use whatever you like.
Your opinion is the only one that matters on Cooking with Rosa.
On Cooking with Rosa, yeah.
Oh, Rosa.
Now we also have some spinach that I've cut up. This is probably about a pound, I don't know, I'd say about 4 cups there. Maybe 3. We got
maybe like 3 3/4.
Right.
Yeah.
We also have some provolone cheese, Parmesan cheese, 2 cups of water that we'll need for the sauce, toothpicks for rolling it.
And the actual sauce.
The actual sauce. All right. So up next we're going to be going. All right. So we're going to start with part of the stuffing that we have to actually saute and sweat down. So, Nick, you're going to help me get the stuffing. Well, actually, I'm going to give it to you so you can learn how to do this.
Fantastic.
Okay? So, Nick's got this new fancy-dancy stove here. I'm going to show him how to use it.
Thank you.
You're going to start with some oil. Just go ahead and cook the pan. And to this, we're going to go ahead and brown some pancetta. So the pancetta, I've basically just kind of cubed it up, very small. And we're going to just stick it in there and let that brown up.
Brown up.
Yes. pancetta a lot with your cooking?
Yes, I love it.
Okay,
Gives
why
it
do
a
you
lot of
like it?
flavor. Just extra flavor.
Now, do you know the difference between pancetta and like a bacon?
Yeah, pancetta the Italian bacon.
No, I'm asking you a real question because I don't know.
No, that's what I.
But
Yeah, no, but to me it's a completely different flavor than bacon. See, now it's interesting though that you add oil, because when I do mine, I don't add the oil. I actually just brown it because the fat from the pancetta, and I let it render that way.
we're actually going to keep the fat in
Nice.
there, just so that it gives flavor to the stuffing and
Perfect.
everything else that we put in there, and the sauce. So every single time you're using different layers, you want to definitely season it. So I'm actually just lightly going to
I
season.
highly agree with you there.
You do?
Surprisingly, because we never agree on anything.
Okay. So we're gonna put some red pepper flakes. Now you want to be careful with that because that's going to give you that heat. So if you like things spicier, of course you're going to add more. If you don't like it as spicy, don't add as much. But we're actually putting some in the stuffing and into the sauce as well. So this here is for the stuffing. So this is all I'm going to put for now.
You want this on high heat?
Whatever. It's probably fine. Medium high is probably fine too, as long as you brown it. I mean, that's the goal of it.
Do you have to add pepper to this or no?
Yes. Go ahead. Just a touch. There we go. So let that brown.
Now, do you actually use this inside the granola that you're making?
This is actually going inside the granola. Yep. So this is going to be part of our stuff. So really, I'm taking all of those ingredients and just kind of soaking them, sweating them down. So we're not actually putting them raw into the meat. You know, and that's going to give it a better. It's just better for cooking time, and you know, you're not accidentally biting into this raw onion or anything like that. So
I hate biting into raw. Excuse me.
Okay.
Lower down the water.
Okay. So as we're waiting for this to brown, maybe we should put a little higher.
Sure.
As we're waiting for this to brown, I just want to ask. So now that you have this love for cooking, what is probably your favorite dish that you make?
Probably either my bolognese or my prime rib.
Oh, all right. Okay, so we talked about his bolognese stuff. So what's so special about it? He thinks people stole it, by the way.
They did. There was one particular restaurant. We won't name them, but you know what? I've made it so many different ways over the years to the point that now I feel like I've perfected it, and I actually think it's delicious, and so does everyone else that tastes it.
Good.
So that's like one of mine, and then the prime rib really comes out awesome.
Oh, all right. Now, I've never actually made prime rib, so can you kind of just describe it?
Sure. I always get it with the fat cap on it. I used to always go see Uncle Yano and get a nice piece of prime rib, fat cap on it. Basically, I would use just salt and pepper on the outside. I'd brown it in a pan, then get it in the oven. I'd use some butter, oregano, thyme, bay leaves, and just let it cook. It's really simple, but the flavors just really pop. And then I always like my food medium rare. So.
Oh, I was just going to ask, what would you suggest?
Oh, without a doubt, medium rare.
Medium rare. Why?
To me, if you cook any meat beyond medium rare, especially like well done, you're better off just not eating it. It tastes like nothing.
Can you say rare again?
Rare.
Rare. There's an R in there.
Rare.
All right, so we're going to go ahead and add some onions. Now, I've got actually one large onion, but I'm only going to add half of that because half of this is actually going to go into my sauce. So we can go ahead and turn this down so we don't actually burn it, but I'm going to throw in
Can I
half.
turn this on or no?
Yeah, please. Okay. Go ahead and...
Are they going to be able to hear us with that thing on?
I think so.
This is probably something
Okay. So, as you can see here, we've got everything kind of sweating out. And we're going to add a couple more stuff. So we're going to add our spinach, which you want to add as much as you want. I was going to put a little bit more, but this one over here, some people don't like it. So, we're going to add our spinach and our sliced mushroom. And you just want to cook that all down. And then we'll add it to our stuffing.
Salt and pepper.
Add some more salt and pepper, thank you. So salt and pepper, every one of those layers. And there's nothing really that's going to be super raw in here when we put it all together with the soaking bread, so we are going to taste that, make sure that our stuffing is to what we like. Alright, so we're going to let this all sweat out, and when we come back, we're going to mix this with our soaking day-old Italian bread. Okay, we'll be back in a second. So we're ready to put our stuffing together. So Nick, can you bring that over for me? And just put it all right in here. Good stuff. All right, so now that this is all done, shut that off.
You should have probably shut that off and redid that. That way you could hear it.
You want to?
Well,
Then it's going to look like
already
dirty.
dirty.
That's all right. Okay, so now we have this. So we're going to add to this mixture that soaking bread that I have. So I'm just going to put it right in. Are you watching, Nick?
I am. I'm just salting
Because
the
this
water.
is for you. Oh, all right. So we're going to add the bread.
Mm-hmm.
We're going to add the Parmesan cheese. This is a half a cup of Parmesan cheese. The Nick's version of a half a cup. This was supposed to be a half a cup of provolone cheese, but I kind of grated some more, but that's okay. Because, well, that's a lot more than a half a cup. Maybe I won't put all of it.
Yeah, but you know, I always say if you like the
right,
flavor and you want it, add it.
Okay, so we add it. So I've got the provolone, I've got the Parmesan cheese, I've got the wet mixture of bread, and then I've got what we sauteed in the pan. That's it. So our best our best tools are our hands, right? So we're going to just get in.
So use them.
That's what I'm doing. So I'm just going to mix it all. Okay, let's see.
What do you need?
This. I forgot it kind of came off the stove, right? So it's really hot. I was burning my fingers. I know. Aren't we a bunch of nitwits?
Not
Okay. Speak for yourself, Rosie. Is that what you're going to tell me? All right. So I'm just mixing this up, and this is what we're going to use as the stuffing now. All right. You want to taste it?
I would love to taste it.
Yeah.
Let me grab a spoon.
Go ahead and grab a spoon.
Since it's so hot.
And you can tell me if it needs some salt. All right. Tell me what you think.
Excellent.
You like it?
Yeah.
Okay, so Nick, you're going to help me roll this up. So we're going to be rolling them into the raw meat and using toothpicks to close it up. Let me see. So one for you.
Oh, thank you.
And basically, this is just some thin sandwich steak. And I cut them because they were really long. These are Braciolettinis. So they're like individual servings. But some people will make a big roll, like I told you earlier. So you're pretty much going to have...
Parsley or no?
Nope. Parsley is going to be for our sauce later. So I'm just putting a little bit in here. Like that.
Like that.
Yep, and then you're going to just roll it up. So I'm kind of pulling in the sides and then rolling it up because what'll happen is sometimes it kind of spews out. How are you doing there?
I don't know. I'm about to find out. You mean...
Like a burrito.
You mean it comes out like that?
Yeah, let's redo that.
Yes. Hold on.
And then I'm going to just sew through. Well, I mean, it might open up a little bit.
Oh, so now because yours opened up, it's okay. I see how it works.
But see, look how cute.
Perfect.
Okay. Well, you know what'll happen is it'll just go right into the sauce and just give the sauce more flavor. Okay. So I'm going to go ahead and sew this through.
Oh man, we really have like the ultimate musical.
Alright, so it's 2. Let's do it. Okay. So we'll just roll up one more.
And you're right, I didn't taste the mushroom,
See?
which is good.
So those of you who don't like mushrooms, these are these are so finely thin. You won't. They basically almost like melt into the stuffing. My brother-in-law Gasper hates mushrooms. Is it the mushrooms he hates? Yeah. He hates mushrooms. But he doesn't know that I had mushrooms in here because we didn't want to tell him. He absolutely loves my braciolettini.
And if anybody wants to actually see Gasper, you can just go YouTube the Super Bowl because he was the conductor.
All right, so Nick and I are going to go
That
ahead
one's
and
for you,
finish.
Diana.
We're going to go ahead and finish rolling these up. And then up next, we'll be making the sauce for it and browning these and putting them in there. Okay? All right, so we're back. So what we're going to do is brown our meat. So I am going to just add a little bit more olive oil. So we could do that. Let that heat up.
Tongs over there.
I've got tongs.
Pan is bigger than you.
All right. Hey, it's not so bad being short.
Yeah, that's the story of my life.
You think you're short?
How do you think I'm not?
Because you're taller than me.
My kids are taller than you.
All right, so we're going to go ahead and brown these. Why don't you go ahead and make yourself useful, hold these. So we're going to throw these into the pan. It'll start to sizzle in a second anyways. And this is such a great big pan. I need to get one like this. I like your pan.
You like my pan?
I like your pan.
I like my pan.
Okay. You put them out?
Yeah, we will. We'll slide them around a little.
All right. So in case you're not that familiar with browning meat, so we're not actually cooking it all the way through, but we're just trying to brown it to give it color. If you don't do that when you put it into your sauce, it's just gonna have that, I don't know.
Raw meat?
Raw meat look to it, I guess. Yeah, I mean, I was gonna say pale, but
Well, it kind of just keeps everything together.
it keeps it all together. Not that the toothpicks don't, but it does. It looks nicer.
And it actually gives it more flavor because now you're flavoring the pan that you're going to be using with the sauce with the meat.
That's true. So, I mean, there's a lot of things that you brown first. You brown your pork. Some people brown meatballs. No, seriously.
Yeah, I do.
Some just dump it in the sauce.
Oh, no. Is that how you do yours?
No.
Okay.
Well, sometimes. If I'm hungry, yeah.
Okay.
Then I'll just throw it in there. So, okay. We're going to go ahead and just brown these. And once they're browned, then we'll start up the sauce. So we'll be right back. Nice and brown. So if you could hold there for a minute.
I can.
I'm just going to lower this heat. Well, actually, I'm going to shut it off. Okay, so we're going to just take these out. And that way we can start with our sauce. But do you see how we have different... We got a little bit of browning right there. Can you see that? So that's going to look really pretty for presentation as well. It does give flavor. Okay. So do this. And you'll find that some of your stuffing does come out, just kind of, but that's all right.
Just mixes in with the sauce.
So now the stuffing that we used, we used breadcrumb and all this. Some people don't actually do that. Some people will just season the inside of the meat, and that's it. But it's,
I've seen it just with like some plain like breadcrumb too, which
not even like sometimes
it doesn't have much flavor, so I don't understand the point of doing it.
Right.
Let me just stick this over here.
Okay, so we're just gonna clean up this pan and then we're gonna back.
So look, clean pan.
Well, so go ahead and put in some oil because we're gonna need to sweat up against some onions. Now this particular sauce, it's got some good depth to it because you actually are going to saute it. The onions give it flavor, and then we're going to add some salt, pepper, which Nick's doing that now. And this particular sauce has red wine in it. I don't put red wine in my sauces. That's me personally. I know a lot of people do for the bolognese sauces and some of the other ones. This is the only one that I make that I actually put red wine. Do you use wine in your sauces?
I don't, not even my bolognese.
Now why? I just think it gives it too strong of a taste, but
I've
I'm
done
just
it both
curious.
ways. I just prefer it without. I really like the way that it came out without adding the wine. So, and I've never really added it to like if I made no, I actually did it once when I made meatballs and stuff, and I didn't like it at all.
Yeah, I think that I wonder if it's just with certain towns because
Yeah,
my mother
different parts
never
of Italy did it. Correct.
Our mothers are sisters. My mother never put in any kind of wine. What about your mom?
No.
No. So it might be a certain town or region. So if you use it and that's how you like it, of course, go ahead. This particular dish is the only one we're going to use one.
Right.
So we're going to let these onions sweat out. And we're going to also add the garlic in. So this was the other 2 cloves that I chopped. Okay. Like that.
You got that.
Now, why are you adding water?
Okay, so good question. Why are we adding water? So, when your sauce is boiling, or simmering, I should say, when it's simmering, it's going to reduce. As it reduces, it gets really thick. So by adding the water, you're giving it that liquid that you need to give more, to make more sauce, but it's also going to balance out, and so you won't have such a thick sauce. Does that make sense? I don't know.
It makes sense.
Okay. You don't add water to your sauce?
I do.
You do? Why do you add water?
For the same reason you do.
All right, we're going to add some tomato paste. So this tomato paste, we're going to basically put in 4 tablespoons, right? So that looks about 1.
3,
No, that looks like 1.
4,
2,
6.
3, 4. And a squirt for good luck.
There you go.
These tubes are actually really great because, you know, the one thing, if I don't use tomato paste, you know, and you put it in the fridge, it gets black.
Yeah.
But you know the trick of that?
No.
Is actually putting some olive oil on top. Put some olive oil on top of the one that's in the can. Cover
See,
it
I
up.
usually end up throwing it out because I don't like the way, you know, for that reason.
Okay, I'm going to add some red wine.
How much red wine?
Now this red wine, there's basically just shy of a cup because Nick drinks some. But you should have about a cup. And you want to definitely use a red wine that you would drink.
Correct.
Right?
I agree.
So, yeah.
You're going to add wine to your food, you always add whatever you're going to drink. If you wouldn't drink it, then it's not good enough for your food.
Exactly. So we're going to add that. We are going to add some red pepper flakes again.
Solid?
Yep. Put a little bit of salt in there. Now, those of you who make sauce and then put sugar or baking soda, like I use baking soda to get rid of the acid and sweeten up the sauce, you definitely don't want to do that with this one. Because I think that it gives it the sweet flavor, but this is not a sweet sauce.
Right.
So you just leave it the way it is. That's my opinion. And
Your opinion is the only one that matters on this show.
Absolutely, because we are cooking with Rosa. Okay. Dang.
Oh.
All right, so now that that's set, we're going to add in our sauce. Now this sauce here is just, this was the San Marzano tomatoes, which I do prefer. I do love to can my own tomatoes.
Yes.
You do can?
I have them downstairs.
Oh, do you really?
I do.
I actually have one more jar of my mom's. She had some and I won't use it. But I canned some of my own and they came out pretty good. Okay, so I'm going to use basically about, I don't know, 40 ounces. Okay, so I'm going to throw this in here. We'll leave some for Nick because he needs some. Is that good? Do you need any
Yeah,
more?
I'm only going to need like 3 tablespoons, so you
Oh.
can use as much as you'd like.
All right. Is that good?
That's plenty.
Okay. So let's do that. Okay.
Another layer, salt and pepper.
Yes, another layer of salt and pepper. Go ahead and mix that up. And as he's mixing this up, I'm going to go ahead and get the braciolettinis because we're going to actually simmer them in here. And you're going to basically simmer this for a couple hours.
Nice.
Yep, it's a couple hours. So your braciolettini will be nice and tender. They're going to be so yummy.
Do we need parsley?
We are using parsley, but the parsley we're going to be putting in is towards the end.
Okay.
Because it will darken. So if we leave it more towards the end, it'll retain more of its greenness.
Right.
So we'll leave it to the end. But yes, we will be using it. Okay. All right. So we're going to add, one more thing. Wow, I almost forgot.
The water.
The water. So, you know, these cans, I just put in 2 cups of water here. So not only am I cleaning out the can and getting the rest of the residue from the leftover tomato sauce, but I get to add it to my dish.
All right.
All right, and then we're just going to put these back in. So easy this is? I mean, it really doesn't take that long.
No. I'm sorry, how long are you going to try to simmer this for?
We are going to, not try, we are going to simmer this for 2 to 2.5 hours.
Very good.
Yes. And these are going to be so yummy. All right. A couple more. And that's it.
There you go.
Perfect. Okay, so we'll throw a lid on this. We'll let it simmer. And up next, Nick is going to show us his famous pasta Rosalinda.
There you
See you
go.
next.